The 3 real estate questions, they're going to come up at your holiday party. And today we're going to talk about them. This is the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. Good morning. And I'm like, Jeremy Larkin here. Who else is here?
Chantry Abbott with Guild Mortgage.
Boom. I love having this guy here. He's got his name out here on their sign on the building, but I don't see him very much. I'm like, you don't write, you don't call. Anyway. He does. He sends us some incredible market updates. Guys, we're going to talk about we love having Chantry on the show, and he's the kind of guy that I can send a text from my house to the office with the topic.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the 3 real estate questions. They come up at look, if you're a realtor or a lender, those 3 questions.
Oh, yeah.
They are the questions that are coming up. Yep. You're going to be thinking them if you're listening to our show. Excuse me. We're going to talk about home turnover being at the lowest rate in decades. Home turnover meaning, very simply, like what is the frequency with which people are selling their homes and more, and also more. So listen, before we started, you have this warm coat on.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. You told us what, but why are you just so cold? I want to talk about this. It's great.
Well, first of all, I hate the winter, so I'm
I love
chicken
this.
dude. But I cold plunge every morning, and so it usually takes me until about 9 o'clock to warm up.
Do you plunge after the gym?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because if you plunge before, you'll get warm.
Correct.
So this is classic. I love cold plunging. Kind of love it. I actually just use my pool in the wintertime.
Yeah,
because I don't have an actual plunge.
Fun, yeah.
So my Uncle Gray, rest his soul, he was the mayor of St. George, by the way, guys, in the early 80s, Gray Larkin. And I had a builder call me yesterday. He said, hey, we're marketing a project in Hurricane. I really like, he's on my email list. By the way, if our listeners aren't on my email list, it's like, what are you doing? He said, I love the stuff you send out. We send out these kind of hilarious story-based emails. And I think I'm going to send this story out now. And he said, would you like to talk about marketing this whole project? It's in Hurricane. It's a multi-unit kind of thing. So he said, now, Larkin, is your dad Gray or Dale? I said, Dale. I said, but they ran Larkin Plumbing right here on the block. They had half the block.
Yeah.
My Uncle Gray always said the following. He said, there are only 2 kinds of people who get cold. I'm looking at Blue Form. By the way, our show's brought to you by Blue Form Media. Do you guys know, does anybody know who the 2 types of people are?
No.
You're either broke or stupid. So the only reason you'd ever be cold is you're broke or you're dumb. Does everybody understand? Yeah. You either can't afford a coat or you are just stupid. His whole life, he also said, and when I built this building, I've talked about it on the show, a lot of our listeners know that we're at the Cameo Florist building, formerly, now Legacy Corner. And my dad said, you know what Uncle Gray would have said if he were still alive when I got ready to renovate? It's going to take longer, cost more money, and be more frustrating than you think it will be.
Was he right?
Oh, dude. Yeah, 100% he was. And so you've got a warm coat and and my dad, so when we cold plunge, my dad's like, why would you do that? He's 84.
Yeah.
You know? So, but it is funny because I've got one of my bonus kids, stepkids, Annie is 12. And we were laughing about, the thing in middle school, everybody here knows in middle school, it's uncool to wear a coat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's, and I think it was that way when I was a kid. And she's like, oh, our goal is to not wear a coat this entire winter. They're in Lehigh, dude. Like, there'll be snow on the ground after tonight.
And they ain't broke, so they are what?
And I said, Annie, do you know we're driving home from Phoenix from Thanksgiving. I said, Annie, there's only 2 kinds of people get cold, right? She's like, no. I said, you're either broke or you're stupid. And she looked at me, and then it took her just like everybody else. And she's like, oh, well, I'm not either. I just don't want to wear a coat. Oh, I hope you guys are entertained, guys. Jeremy Larkin here with the Larkin Group, Keller Williams Realty. That's the legal disclaimer. We have to say we're with the real estate brokerage as though they wouldn't know it.
All right.
All right, Chantry. We're going to talk about the 3 questions that come up every holiday party. But first of all, I want to talk about this. And for those who watch this on Facebook Live, oh my gosh, I told my assistant who's virtual, she's remote. She's not virtual like AI, but she's remote. I said, I'm going to have you watch our radio show. And so here's what I want to talk about, guys. Home turnover is at the lowest rate in decades. Why? Chantry, like why are people not, I mean, we'll talk about it, but you're going to know, some of the answers. Why are people staying in their homes?
Yeah.
I mean, what's this about?
Big one is they've got those COVID mortgages, 2 or 3% mortgages. So they're in this crazy low payment. And to go get the house they would really want to be in, they'd probably have to double or maybe even triple their monthly expense.
Yeah. And this is because he helps people get the money to buy homes.
Yeah.
Guild Mortgage. So it's crazy.
We actually call it being held hostage, like you're held hostage by your mortgage.
Oh.
Because you're in your house, but the house isn't fitting you anymore.
Let's call it a hostage mortgage. Can we do that?
So you're being the hostage mortgage.
Yeah.
Is holding you back because think about it. Your payment's $2,000 a month. You're in a house you don't love, but you don't hate, right? Maybe your family's grown. It's
too big. It's too small. You got Formica countertops. I don't know.
Yep. Could be any of those things, right? So normally in the natural cycle of life, that person would have sold that house and moved into a different home, down, sideways, whatever that means. But to go from a 2% or 3% mortgage to a 6% mortgage is probably going to double their house payment.
Well, okay, this is kind of fascinating. So we're looking at the chart right now. It's for those who are watching on Facebook. By the way, facebook.com/St. George Experts. And then every one of our shows ends up on YouTube. So within a couple of days, it'll be on YouTube. Just look up the Larkin Group, right? Or go St. George TV, but the Larkin Group. So home sales per 1,000 homes in the first 9 months of the year. This is interesting. Don't get caught up like, oh, wait, he's getting into market gibberish. If I can't see it, I want to just say this. So in the first 9 months of the year, it's always going to be
little
lagging, right? Okay. So this is what it looked like starting in 2012. 34,000, 37,000, 36,000, 40,000, 41,000. This is home sales per 1,000 homes in the U.S. 42,000, 41,000, and 40,000 in 2019. Here's what's fascinating. 39,000 in 2020. There were still 39. We were still cranking in 2020, COVID. 44,000 in 21, the big year.
Lots of people moved.
37,000, and now watch. Rates go up, and it drops to 28,000, 27,000, 27,000. Guys, home sales per 1,000 homes are down by 1/3.
Yeah.
This is just, I love these graphics that are so simple. And so what's happening, to Chantry's point, is this, okay? And we could get into how they do this, et cetera. By the way, this is kind of fun. 4 million homes sold this in the last year. In 2021, there were 7 million homes.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's 11,123 homes sell each day. 463 houses sell per hour. Did you guys know that if you divide 463 by 60 minutes, 8 houses sell each minute?
Wow.
Okay, so what's happening? Well, what's happening is what we talked about right here, okay? Affordability challenges are keeping people on the sidelines.
Yep.
Sellers don't want to give up their low mortgage rate.
Yep.
Right? There's a book, it's kind of funny. People pre-divorce or big breakup. It's the most popular book. It's called Too Bad to Stay, Too Good to Leave.
Yeah.
It's actually a really great book. It's a clever title. And I think that's the deal with homes.
Yeah.
It's too bad to stay. It's too wrong to stay. It's too good. The mortgage is too good to leave. Sellers don't want to give the low mortgage rates. Stumbling here. And we have a little thing called economic uncertainty. But here's the funny part. Chantry, you've been in what year did you start handling loans, mortgages for
2009.
People? Okay. Which year since 2009 was there no economic uncertainty? You know what I mean? Isn't it funny?
There's always economic uncertainty.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, there's the thing. There's always, guys, if you went back and did give me the top 10 news headlines of the year for the last 20 years, every year you'd be like, oh my gosh, the thing happened that year.
That's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
So
it's either the election or we're waiting for the election or we're waiting for, now people are waiting for the Fed turnover. It's like you're 100% right. There's always the thing that they're waiting for from the economy, for sure.
So Chantry, you have the 3 questions in front of you. I'm going to put something to a Google Docs we share on the screen. Okay. So if you're at a holiday party and you're a realtor or a lender, but if you're a consumer, these are the kind of conversations that come up because you can't talk about Trump. You can't talk about anything because those are NSFW, not safe for work.
No
that's
politics,
called
no religion.
not safe for holiday parties. Okay. You don't talk about religion or politics. Okay. So these are three. So what's the first one, Chantry, that's going to come up?
How's the market?
Yep.
What's going on with the market? How's the real estate market? How you doing?
Yep. How's the market? Do you get asked this as a lender?
Every day.
So what do you even say?
That's a great question.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what I train realtors to say, but I mean, I don't know.
It depends on the context, right? The real answer is, you know what? There are a lot of houses still being sold. There's a lot of people still moving. Interest rates are better than they were.
Yeah. I love this. There's everything you said, but I don't think there's a right answer. But one of the things I train agents to say, which is I learned from Tom Ferry years ago, as a big national coach, is we don't say good or bad, because one of the things that realtors are prone to do, it's amazing.
Yeah, sure.
Right? I'll say, well, I'll often start with what you said. Look, homes are selling. As a matter of fact, you'd be shocked at how many people are moving. But it really depends on whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing, which category. So, guys, the first question that's going to come up at the holiday party, how's the market? Right.
And the funny thing is that also is like, well, at what price range?
Yeah, correct. Are we talking, $400,000? Or 1.3? And the funny part about it is Chantry handles mortgages, but he's in the real estate market.
Yeah. Totally.
I got a question for you. You recently sold a home. Chantry, sold a home, Little Valley, moved to Bloomington, right?
Yep.
Kind of cool. And I think it's fun for people to hear the actual, this is where you went. Mm-hmm. Little Valley's good to you guys.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah. Are you loving Bloomington?
Even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we moved to Bloomington and got animals and all that. We just wanted the space. It was kind of a backwards move in home.
I love it, dude.
Really.
I love it.
But
older home.
Older home, needed some work. But it was just our time. We wanted some space. We'd kind of outgrown our house a little bit. Actually, we hadn't outgrown our house. We'd outgrown our property.
Yeah, thanks for sharing
our
this,
parking,
man.
Our space. So I'm a mortgage guy, and it's like, oh my gosh, the market. Well, I've been in this since 2009. I sold and bought a house this year.
Yeah, correct.
And guess what? I got a 7% mortgage.
Oh my, dude, how painful was that? So how psychologically painful was it as a mortgage guy?
And I had like a 2.5, right?
So just for fun, I didn't even think we'd go here, but what compelled it? I mean, you talked about some of it, but what you and Christy, you're in this conversation because this is the pillow talk.
Yeah.
What came up?
We had run out of space. We have toys. We wanted animals. Mm-hmm. We had no parking. We were trying to find a place to park our RV. We kind of had a spot on the side of our house, but it's too tight. It was we just were crammed. And I, off the cuff, and it was about this time of year, said, well, if you could find something in Bloomington with some space, you might could talk me into moving, because I didn't ever want to move. I thought we were never going to move. Before you know it, wife's online. Before you know it, I'm walking through a house. Before you know it, we're writing a contract.
Chantry, this is how babies get made also. You know what I'm talking about? Like, one thing leads to another.
It's just it's one step at a time, and all of a sudden we're buying a house, and we never thought we were going to. I'm a firm believer, though, that you can't time the market.
Oh, guys, I did not tell him what I was going to ask about his move. This is gold, right?
I'm a firm believer that you really can't time the market. I think in the long run, if you're making a move for the long term, which we are, that it'll always be fine, because in the long run, everything goes up in value. This isn't like real estate is some hocus pocus and real estate just goes up. It's the car you buy in 10 years is going to be more expensive than it is today. So everything will work itself out in the long run. Now, if you're buying a property to flip it, you want to get really intense into the market. But we're 99% of the people we're talking to, you're buying a house to live in.
This is so good. By the way, I know exactly where he moved, and I love that area. I grew up loving Bloomington. And when I was a kid, it's kind of a fun little trivia. By the way, if you just picked up the show, guys, we're talking about the 3 questions that are real estate questions that come up at every holiday party. And I've got Chantry Abbott here with Guild Mortgage. And what's so fun is they made a move in the last 6 months. Yep. Bought and sold a home in this market, handled thousands of mortgages. You'd think a mortgage guy would be like, dude, don't move right now. As a matter of fact, here's what the consumers would think. I'm going to tell you what I think they think. A mortgage guy is going to tell everyone to get a mortgage and buy because he wants to sell mortgages. Right. But he would never move right now. Well, we have proof that you didn't, right? But sure. When I was a kid, really young kid, so Bloomington Country Club comes in the late 60s. Interstate 15 comes in the late 60s. Air conditioning comes in, central air.
Yeah.
And they move from Utah Hill, going across the boulevard and going over the hill. They go to Interstate 15. Red Hills Golf Course opens. And behind that, they start developing Bloomington Country Club. And my dad and his buddies were really young guys, married but young families. And they had these opportunities to buy the building lots out for $2,000.
Yeah.
And they said, just, you know what they said?
Oh, it's too
What
expensive.
Are you crazy? Well, Bloomington went through this period in the 80s where we called them Bloomington moms. Do you love it? Mal's laughing with Blue Form Media. Bloomington moms were like, they were like the hot ladies, and it was where rich people lived. Well, you know this because you're in the ranches.
Real Housewives of Bloomington.
It was Real Housewives of Bloomington. Well, the world changed. They've built 8 more golf courses. The hot areas became Entrada, Stonecliff, Little Valley. And now what there is there's a turnover.
Yep.
And you are in it.
Yeah.
And if you go out there, you see these beautiful homes that are being renovated, and families with kids. How old are your kids?
11 and 6.
Okay. Families with 11 and 6-year-olds are like, I'm going to move to the ranches and tune up a house and have horses. By the way, Jen and I, our dream is actually to have a mountain ranch, but it wouldn't be mountain, but kind of in northern Utah, maybe like South Utah Valley up in the hills.
Yeah.
With animals. Yeah. And so, dude, this is so gold. And the conversation you shared, I'm not going to move. Rates suck. And you trade in a 2.5% mortgage for a 7 because when it's right, it's right.
Yes, that's it. That's the answer. Should I buy or sell? The honest answer is this the right time for you?
Well, and we're going to talk about, this is so fun. Question 2 and question 3, and then the bonus, you just said it. Question 2, you got right on your text message, Chantry.
When are interest rates going to drop?
Yep, he already knew it. When will rates drop? Okay, I'm going to share this to our screen. Well, Chant, you're the resident mortgage expert. When are they going to drop? It's awesome.
The actual answer is there's absolutely no one on planet Earth that knows that exact answer.
The end.
So if anybody is really telling you now, we could get into all the technical data and where the economy is and unemployment and what the government's trying to do with inflation, and we could talk through that for a long time. But the truth is, the economy's been really resilient. So that's the reason mortgage rates have stayed high, is because the government is terrified of inflation.
Correct.
Even you and I, everyone thinks, oh, they just want the market to go up. I don't want home prices to go up.
But listen, everybody within the sound of our voice, and we're homeowners, if they drop 25% home prices, if prices would drop 25%, it'd be go crazy. But my point is, it'd be so good for the
general public.
Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
It would suck for my equity.
Yeah. And we have investment properties and things like that.
It's like,
so it's
my gosh,
we would really want them to go up. But no, I mean, in general, I don't really. I mean, a nice healthy couple percent is great, I guess. But
yeah. So this question, when will rates drop? Okay. So I asked the question in the last 20 years, which year didn't have economic uncertainty? Now here's my next question. Chantry, in which quarter of the last 25 quarters did everyone say rates were going to drop? Well, in all of them.
Yeah, ever since 2022, all the predictions, which funny is to ask, everybody predicts, all the experts, we're air quoting experts here, they predict rates could be slightly less at the end of the next year than they are this year, but they've been saying that for 4 years. Yep. So will they drop? I honestly don't know. I think if right now the time is right, then I think you make a move. And if they happen to drop, it's a bonus that you get an opportunity to refinance. But I definitely would not be sitting around going, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and rates are 5%, for a couple of reasons. Number one, that may never happen. Number two, how long do you want to continue living in the situation that you're in that's really not working for you? How long do you want to spend living in what if somebody in 2022 said, I'm waiting for rates to drop? Well, now you're 4 years later.
Well, this Chantry. Yes, dude.
And then the third one would be, Jeremy, what would happen to home prices if rates were 5% tomorrow?
Oh, well, oh my gosh. This is so fun. There's some bonus questions I'm going to put in here. If rates drop to 5% tomorrow, home prices would instantaneously go up.
Like tomorrow.
And there would be a melee. Okay. I love this because we said 3. I'm going to put 5 questions in. Okay. I'm serious. Okay. What happens if rates drop to 5% tomorrow? Okay. What happens is this. Every single buyer that's been on the sidelines, guys, remember, real estate is the great human sociology experiment. And let me tell you what I mean by this. There are only 2 things that general public, 5 minutes. There are only 2 things that general public we'll talk about all the time. Well, okay, besides politics and religion,
Yep.
but economically, the stock market and the housing market.
100%.
The end.
Yep.
Every consumer, consumers, even though they buy cars, they don't talk about the car market.
No.
They talk about the housing market. They talk about the stock market.
Yep.
Holiday parties. That's what we're talking about today. So what happens if rates drop tomorrow? It's a human sociology experiment. This is why people started paying 20 over ask, 50 over ask, $100,000 over ask. It was a human sociology experiment. It was like, what happens when there is groupthink, when there's a frenzy, when people start getting FOMO?
Yeah.
So we would have another round of FOMO. Prices would go up 5 to 10% in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's way too fast. And people would be competing and there would be bidding wars. And then let me ask this question, Chantry. Is the market going to crash? This one's coming up at the holiday
That
party.
is, yeah, we forgot that one.
Well, I've got to put one more. Okay, go ahead.
We have no reason to believe that the real estate market is going to make a significant, definitely not a crash. There is some good inventory. There's homes out there. You know, the way you measure the market is how many homes are available. So I don't think we're going to see a big upswing for sure. But the only reason the market crashed, just so everyone knows, the only reason the market crashed in I guess we'll call it 2009, people were in these mortgages they could never afford anyway, and it was bound to end. It was bound. In fact, what happened is in 2006, there was this major FOMO rush. There was all these stupid mortgages being done for people that could never afford the payment. If anyone's gotten a mortgage lately, you have gone through so much paperwork. You want to kill my team and the processors because you can't believe all the stuff they're asking for. The whole point is they're trying to make sure that you can actually afford this house. How many foreclosures are there right now?
I can tell you right now, they're probably in the Washington County like 20 last month.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is like a 2,000% increase from last year. 20.
Yeah, it's like zero.
Side note, there are almost 70,000 households, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
In Washington County, about 70,000 households. So if you take Chant in our final couple of minutes, let's play the math, 20 divided by 70,000 households. That is a 0.00028% default rate.
Basically zero.
So let me talk about this last thing. You've been so good today, man. You're on point. It's that warm coat. It's the warm coat. Should I buy or sell? He alluded to this earlier. Well, Chantry, I want you to answer the question based on your move from Little Valley to Bloomington. Should someone buy or sell? What's the answer?
If it's the right time for you.
Bingo. Like, that's it, man. Like,
and I'm not even telling everybody go buy. I've talked people out of it. I've had a guy that was very uncertain about his job and he was thinking he could end up relocating. And I said, dude, I don't think you should buy right now because in a year, I don't know what that's going to look like selling that property.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think you're going to be making equity. I don't care what they say. Oh, home prices are going to go up 5% this year. They are saying that, by the way. I don't know, man.
I just don't think as a homeowner, unless you're like a real estate investor with a big bankroll, that you should ever buy a house with this short-term expectation of selling it because you may not be in a position where it makes sense to do that.
Yeah. Guys, Chantry Abbott's been with us, Guild Mortgage, Guild, Guild, 435-979-1770.
Look at that.
Yeah, we've done it on the show a few times. Okay.
I've tattooed it on his forearm.
I know. I look at every morning, I'm like, okay. So but Google the Larkin Group. You'll find us. Yeah, we're the ones with I don't know. I think we have 580 Google reviews.
Awesome, man.
1 minute.
Awesome.
Or visit gostgeorge.com. We've just handled the 3 questions that'll come up at every holiday party, plus 2 bonuses. Catch this thing on YouTube in about 2 days. I think this is just a zinger of the show. Have a great December, guys.